Iga, your thoughts on today's match?
Well, for sure, I'm happy with the performance, and I didn't let Katerina come back to the match in second set, so I'm happy with the focus and with the quality of everything.
We'll start with questions in English.
Did you go to the practice courts after the match, and if so, how long did you do?
I think it was 15-20 minutes, nothing intense.
Hi, Iga, congratulations. I have a question that is a bit off topic on coaches. An increasing number of players go around on tour with 2 or 3 different coaches. Do you think it's still doable to have only one coach on tour, as you do, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, it depends on the coach. I think it's more comfortable, but obviously it requires a lot of amount of work from the coach. And the season is longer and longer, so I think there's going to be less chances for us to have one coach really, because not everybody can travel all the time. But for me, it was always important to just have one person that is leading the whole process. I think it's easier for me and the communication-wise, for one person to be in charge of everything. But I guess it depends on the coach and what can they do.
Just to be clear, it's more comfortable from the player's perspective than to have one coach?
Well, from my perspective, I don't know about others.
Tumani?
Your pre-match reaction drills and just the whole kind of like what you do to prepare always looks interesting. I'm curious just how has that developed over the years, and were you ever not as good at it as you are now? If that makes sense. Like the kind of.
Well, I remember when I was a junior, I wasn't as good as I am now, and there was 1 year that actually it clicked, and I felt like my reactions were much better, and all the exercises that I did didn't cost me so much energy. But yeah, my warm-up routine before the match is pretty much the same. For a long time, we only change it when it gets boring, but I don't mind having the same routines. So yeah, there are a lot of reaction exercises because that's basically what we need on court. So yeah.
There you go. I don't know if did you see the thing that happened with Camille earlier in the week when he was giving a cap to someone in the crowd?
No.
And someone kind of snatched it away?
No.
Okay, well I just wondered, I just saw after the match that when you were giving something, I don't know if it was a towel, that you were very much pointing at the person who was going to. Is that something that you feel like you need to do rather than, I know some players just throw something into the crowd and then people can fight over it, so.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously usually 7 people reach out for one thing, and for example, if it's a girl and the boys have longer arms, she's not gonna catch it, but I usually throw at the person that is supposed to get it. So I try to be fair but I don't pick I pick a person randomly or whoever shouts louder. And I know it's not fair, but obviously not everybody's going to be happy.
Do you ever think to yourself that it's strange that people want your sweaty towel or whatever, so much? Does that ever?
No, because I would love to have a sweaty towel of Rafa's when I was a kid. So no. Well, sometimes it's strange when I try to give something to the kid and the adult grabs it, then I try to be come on, that's not the point. So, yeah.
One more.
You might be playing Amanda Anisimova again, the first time since the Wimbledon final. Can you reflect on that, please? How good that was a performance from you? And secondly, when we spoke to you after Wimbledon, you said there's no need for mercy in this game because you don't want to give away cheap points. Is that something you have had since you were a youngster, that ability just to keep pounding and pounding on the tennis court?
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us were raised that way. Yeah, if you wanna become an athlete, you need to want to win the point. And yeah, honestly, I think every athlete has the same vision and mentality, but obviously because of the score at Wimbledon, everybody started asking these questions that when you don't play sports, you don't get it, but if you do, then you know that you're not gonna give anything for free. And yeah, well, we'll see how the match goes. The girls play late, so there's no point now for me to like overthink who I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna see who wins, and that's it. I'll prepare.
All right, last English question. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Just on the subject of Wimbledon and the speed with which a player goes from a Wimbledon centre court to the US Open Arthur Ashe Stadium, the sound is very different, isn't it? It's silent when you're out there at Wimbledon, and here there's constant conversations. I just wonder, is that a bit of an attack on the senses when you first experience it? Does it take time to get used to it?
Yeah, for sure it's harder to focus, and the sensation is different, and it's harder to be in your bubble. But on the other hand, like honestly, if I'm gonna actually be in my bubble, I don't think I'll hear anything. So it just depends on the day, on how I do this and how I do the work, like in my head mentally to ignore all these sounds. But it's it's a totally different experience. Even like with the introduction before the match on Wimbledon, like you don't have it, but here, like, you know, suddenly everybody's reminded you how much you won, you know, and then the screens, you know, on the stadium, sometimes like you see the lights during the point, and it's different for sure. It's a totally different experience. It's harder here for sure.
When you say work, you have to do the work in your head. What does that mean? What do you have to do?
Well, it depends. Like the focus is not gonna come by itself, so it's hard for me to explain. I don't know, like because it's something that I've been doing for years now. It's just focus. Yeah.
All right, home language.
Sorry. Dziękuję.
Można powiedzieć, że ten dzisiejszy mecz udowodnił, czy z tego punktu widzenia, że wolisz grać przy świetle naturalnym na US Open niż podczas sesji nocnej, czy
Nie ma znaczenia.
jest ci wszystko jedno? Bo obawiam się, że z Amandą może być tak, że będziesz grała znowu w nocy.
To, że na razie one jeszcze nie zagrały w ogóle, więc zobaczmy na razie, kto wygrał. A jeśli chodzi o schedule, no to jest tyle czynników, które na to wpływa, których ja sama nie rozumiem czasami, że po prostu zobaczymy, jak to turniej wybierze.
All right, next question.